So let's talk about a limiting factor decision. So I've already put everything here just to make the video a little bit shorter, so you don't have to, procrastinate a lot to be able to watch this video. You can see it's a very short video. Okay, so what is the limiting factor decision? Limiting factor decision is when you don't have enough of something as you need to meet your, let's say, production. So for example, if I need 100 pounds of cheese to make all of my pizzas, burgers, and chicken rolls, and I only have 90 pounds of cheese, that means I don't have enough of cheese, right? So cheese is my limiting factor. Limiting factor is only when you don't have enough of what you need until you need it. It's not like, for example, if I need 100 pounds of cheese, I have 101 pounds of cheese. That's a limiting factor. No, because I have more than I need, right? I have more than enough for my production needs. So that's kind of what the limiting factor decision is about when you don't have enough of a one specific factor of production. Now it can also be a labor, by the way. If you need like 5,000 labor hours, but you only have 4,000, that's a limiting factor because you don't have enough to meet your production needs. Okay, so for this type of decision, I always like show these steps to my students because this has worked amazingly, because usually this is considered a little bit harder topic, but when you follow the steps, it is quite a lot easier. So what is the step? Step one, determine the limiting factor, which is going to be very obvious in the question. If you're a student, if you're real life, again, it's going to be very obvious. Step number two is calculate the contribution margin per unit for each product. Again, just sales price minus variable cost. Very easy. We already learned that formula, right? So I hope you're seeing the more you learn in managerial accounting, the more the rest of the topics are becoming easier. You're like seeing similar formulas and things. Okay. In any case, step number three is where you'll see something new. So this is calculating the contribution margin per limiting factor used for each product. Now, because the new thing, I also mentioned a formula, how to find that. But just to let you know what this means for every 1 pound of cheese, in case of cheese, how much contribution margin is the product earning? Because we shouldn't really care about the contribution margin per unit. We should care about contribution margin we are able to make by using the per unit of limiting factor, because we want to maximize the profit making, right? And then step number four is rank the products according to the contribution margin per limiting factor used. So obviously you might have understood some things that I said here, but there's nothing better than doing a real question. So in the next video, we're going to do exactly